Rotate device back. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hi, darlings. It just told me I needed to rotate. Wow, okay, so this is a little different and that's okay. Hi. Today is about the spirit of highness, practicing the spirit of highness. Oh man, and I have some good stuff to share, as always. Naima Singletary here for those of you who are hearing my voice and seeing me for the very first time, and I want to apologize in advance if it's distracting and loud, because the lighting where I am right now is not very good, and where I am, the lighting is better. And at the same time, it's a restaurant, so it's, you know, the noise of a restaurant. And then also, I won't be able to scream the way I like to scream sometimes, or the way it just comes out when I'm just really in the heat of what it is that I'm sharing with you. So I am Naima Singletary, a incubation center, a power center, a battery for visionary women and men who are changing things, who are also batteries, and they know that their work is here to change things. So they are among the powerful and the protected class, even if they don't know it yet. And it's their job to engage in a lifestyle, because this is a lifestyle. So to make the decisions on a consistent basis and to engage in the lifestyle that allows them to be the battery that changes things, okay? So that's how I serve. This is what people pay me for. I have a beautiful client flying up from Los Angeles up to San Francisco at the end of this month for us to have some what I call Jesus time together, because, you know, video is amazing, right? But it's, you know, second class, if you will. Video is second class. First class is belly to belly, eye to eye, heart to heart, in the flesh, where we can go into what you are uniquely dealing with. What, you know, each of us has our own individual vision. What is yours, and how can I expedite, right? There are things that happen very quickly in hearing my voice, and the medicine that comes from hearing my voice and integrating what, you know, it's like I say something that sparks what you already know on some deep level, and then that helps you to move in the way that is necessary for you to move and to be what is necessary for you to be. And then there's the in-person that is unmatched, okay? So I am here on December 22nd, yes, which is a Saturday. I have space for half day of Jesus time in San Francisco. So if you are the person who I have described, and you see the benefit of using this time here in the month of December with me in the flesh, heart to heart, belly to belly, eye to eye, to exponentially expedite what it is that you're creating, but even more importantly, who it is that you're being and becoming, we have time to do that, and I would be thrilled. We're going to be at the gorgeous, historic 5-star Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco. So that is that. Saturday, December 22nd, the investment is $7,500 for half a day. And what you get there is the opportunity to have that one-on-one time. It's just you and I. So this is like, if you are someone who you like it, you know, right? Like some people need just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine, And then there's some people that want intermediate or can only handle intermediate. And then there are those who I am uniquely built for. And it's taken me a while to come to this. I'm uniquely built for those who their DNA, their system, their makeup requires this unfiltered elixir. It requires the purest, most refined, most piercing medicine to help them to embody who they are and to execute here on the third dimension to change whatever it is that they're meant to change. So this brings me to today's topic. I'm so freaking grateful. Like, I'm so deeply grateful. I'm so deeply grateful to be able to have been born in this body, to be of service, to even be in service to myself, first of all, and then to be in service to who I was, because that's who I'm serving, who I was. After I served myself, I'm in service to who I was 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. When there was nobody talking the way I talk. I still don't see anybody talking the way I talk in a melanated body. And so this high discernment that I talk about all the time, this is why it's so important for you, if you really are called to be in my orbit, it's so important that you find a way to get really in, close. I mean, beyond the second class of a video. Because this understanding, this language, this respect for you, for me, and your makeup, like literally how you're made, how you're wired, how you were born. Because you and I were born to change things, like literally, we are born to change it. This, the mediocrity, the normalcy, the chain production, the mass production that drives a lot of the ho-hum of the world does not support me. It doesn't feed me. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help you. And when I say me, I mean you, because you and I are the same. And so the importance of practicing the spirit of highness is that you and I are accosted by opposing spirits in ways that other people are not. So this really started to happen to me in a very direct way, in a way that had never happened before, that will wipe the average person out, which does wipe the average person out, when I came into the transformation space in 2011. So, you've heard me talk about the average entrepreneur, right? Like the average business owner who is selling a product or a service, like a veterinarian, right? Who is just a veterinarian, right? Or an attorney who's just an attorney, or a fashion designer who's just, right? Like just the typical entrepreneur who's doing what they love, right? Who, is making great money, is, has their freedom, right? Now that's like the average entrepreneur. And this is not to put down, right? I think you know that. And then there's those of us who were literally born to change things. Like your soul, your being, your entire makeup came here to change things. So there's a part of you that naturally opposes what is normal, what is mediocre. Like this is your makeup. You can't help it. So this explains why you were possibly bullied as a child, because your natural being, just who you are walking into a room, opposed what was the natural hum and mediocrity of what we see and feel here on planet Earth now. Okay. And so both the devil and God have power, okay? The minute we try to, be like, the devil is not, has no power, is when the devil becomes even more powerful, because that's when you try to banish something. It's kind of like what you resist persists. What you resist persists, okay? And so if you're doing this banishing, trying to resist evil forces, and your natural makeup opposes that which is normal, okay? So the devil exists in mediocrity, okay? You and I it is required. It is not, and please know that I am really like, it's knowing, it's like knowing the path and walking the path. I've talked about those people who like to just touch the hem of Jesus, because they can, because, it makes them, spiritual masturbation. It just makes them feel good. But there's no walking the path. It's like an awareness of the path and knowing the path on some level, but not walking it. And so it is imperative. It is required. It is non-negotiable. As we are doing our work, please hear this, okay? Please get this. As we are doing our work of changing things and naturally opposing, just you walking into a room of mediocrity disrupts people internally, even if they can't put their finger on it, okay? Therefore, the devil in this mediocrity just comes at you like you're the enemy to the devil, okay? And so it is so imperative that you engage in whatever kind of practice. There's no right or wrong. What's important is that you engage in practice that is specifically designed in the spirit of highness, okay? And I don't mean this new age, everything is light and love and I'm ignoring. So this is not to say that you will not feel some kind of fuck you, or, somebody cuts you off and you might want to automatically have an aggressive response or whatever the thing is, right? It is you cultivating your power so you are perpetually more powerful than all of the opposing forces that are around at all times, okay? At different distances too, right? And so if you have found that somehow you have found yourself in this, swirling of negativity, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, what? And right? Because you're among the powerful and protected class, even if you have not put that language with it yet, right? You're born to change things. You're uniquely powerful. You've always been different, right? And you're like, how and why? And it's almost like you feel like encroached on by this negativity and this mediocrity. It's because they've gotten in, they've caved in because you have not been engaging and practicing the spirit of highness. Amen. This is so important for us. I'm telling you, and the more powerful you are, the more you start to really operate from a heart level, like true. The more true you become. I'm telling you, my God. And this is why it's so important that you get, as I have said, that everything is happening for you and not to you. Everything. Oh my God. You guys, I produced this experience. It was from the center of my heart. From the center. I literally sat down and without abandon, without shrinking it, without trying to make it something more palatable, I produced this thing that was from my heart. Something that I knew would be the purest, medicine, the purest, most piercing, loving thing to help change the women, transform the women, enrich the women that I am uniquely designed to serve. And if I had known then what I know now, I would have been in such rich, radical, and deep ceremony and practice of highness to guard and love and to protect this thing that I have produced from my heart. Because when I tell you the level of attack that came on this program, it was something out of a freaking movie. And some of you may know exactly what I'm talking about. And it was like, what is going on here? And sometimes you don't get the revelation until after you've had the experience. Like if I'm speaking to you right now and you're not kind of getting it, it's because you haven't had the experience yet to really ingest this revelation. Because after this experience, recently that I heard, right, because I had this experience some years ago, and I heard T.D. Jakes talk about it was relating to the spirit of highness and attacks. I mean, it was a certain way. Anyway, it's not coming to me the way he said it, because I really appreciated the way he said it, but what it came down to was when you are really doing the work that you are called to do, it is so important. You guys, this is non-negotiable. This is not, what I would like for you to do. This is not my opinion. This is completely, and this is so good. This is going to, and I'm just really getting this, you guys. This is what I'm sharing with you. I share with you either what I have been practicing and what I know, or what I'm really coming into now, what is current and relevant for me now. And this is current and relevant for me now in such a strong way, because I am now, I have had so many attacks over the last few years, and this is why I'm so grateful that I can see, this is why it's so important that we can see, that you can see clearly that you're not wiped out by the illusion of failure, that you're not wiped out by these attacks, that you're not wiped out because you did not know, because maybe, when you're among the powerful and protected class, you cannot be around just anybody. And the more you really start to hold to that standard, it's so acute, it's so fine, it's so precise. It's so easily to fall into isolation the way I did. And so much, there's a place, don't get me wrong, right? Here's some nuance right here. There is most certainly a place for isolation, right? There's most certainly a place, and I would call it conscious isolation, where you say, I'm going to go, okay? Or something compels you, like that's how I ended up in the Italian mountains. Something compels you to go, okay? There is most certainly a place for that. And this is the work that I'm here to do. I'm the battery. My purpose on earth, I'm so happy. Oh God. You must come to this. My purpose is a battery to others who are changing things. And I did a video earlier this year, and the dots are connected. When I was thinking about this morning and last night, I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense, Dots are always connecting. And I did a video earlier this year, and I talked about that there are those of us who are at the center, human beings, right? That are at different levels of change, okay? different levels of changing, different levels of capacity, different levels of what we were born for. And so there are those of us at the core, the purest, most fine, acute, those of us who are at the core, right? So our job is to affect and touch those at the immediate outward level of that core, right? And then the core continues to go out, different levels out at the core. And I am at the very core. That's my job. That's become clear to me after being attacked many times, after refusing to surrender to the work that I was born into. There's, why? That's a whole other conversation, right? And I would be happy to have that conversation. Now is not the time. And so, one, it's really important to know what your position is. One. Two, it's so important that you are in intimate relationship with your people, right? And you know it. Right? I know the world is loud. And there's like stuff, it's loud, shit is everywhere. However, when you get down into what you know and you allow yourself to cut off all the noise and come into what you know who your people are. And if you're here with me, especially if you keep coming back, and then you just know, you just know. You want to be here. You want to come in close. And so I have a really great chance for you to come in closely. The Spirit of Highness. Okay, I talked about this website being done. I know. This is another thing. Like, I'm telling you, things happen for me. Let me speak for myself. And I always get it. As long as I stick with it and don't let it wipe me out, I always get the wisdom and intelligence out of it. So I said the website was going to be done. What was that? It was supposed to be done like, I don't know, over a week ago, last Monday, it was supposed to be done, right? And it wasn't, right? But it will be within the next, day and a half. And there's like a nuanced conversation to have around what has even happened in the last week, right? When we're changing things, nothing is linear. There's so much, because the acuteness, precision is required. And I am being tightened up from every angle. And you are too. Like, as I say this, I'm speaking to you and I'm speaking to me. And so it's like, yes, right? Yes, surrender, yes, okay. Because a made-up mind. So, San Francisco, December 20th. San Francisco, December 20th is the Spirit of Highness. December 20th, the Spirit of Highness in San Francisco. You are welcome to join in and have some time together, belly to belly, heart to heart, eye to eye. Again, we're going to be at the historic, gorgeous 5-star Fairmont, which is to really nourish. The Powerful and Protected class are meant to be in prestigious environments. We are meant for this. Our DNA literally reacts to being in these environments. Our creativity reacts to being in these environments. The level of refined consciousness is activated and embedded literally by being in these physical environments. That's why I picked these spaces. And this is something that I've come to know over the years. So, at the Spirit of Highness, happening December 20th in San Francisco at the Fairmont, it is an opportunity for us to be in the room. Like just being in the room. Jesus Christ. I personally am so ready and eager for this, and am even now more gifted in my awareness and the need to practice the spirit of highness and to protect the space. Protect me, protect you, protect the space, and the requirement of that. Not like, oh, that'd be nice, but the absolute requirement of that. So we will have an opportunity to look at the way we are showing up, the way we are writing, if you're writing for online marketing, any kind of writing. Speaking on stages, how are you being? Who are you? The language that you're using, what your plans are for 2019, the work that you're doing. Like, we're going to be able to have this very large, multifaceted conversation. And the power is being in the room with your people. That is the power. No matter what we discuss, because there's so much to discuss, There's so much to discuss, and this is just the beginning. Admission is $500. This is just the beginning, but it is a great beginning, especially as if you are really calming down for the holiday and going inward and preparing and looking at who you've been this year and who you are and how much of that you're going to express in your work and the way you're changing things in the world. And so this is really special, really, really special. And so it's a really great desire for me to work in flesh with those of you who know, right? And so the knowing. And, I was reading somewhere online, I think it was yesterday, about this woman was saying that she always wanted to know because she was afraid of the unknown. And I want to speak to this, even though, on some level, I think you already know this, but I just want to say it so you know that I know, and, speaking it gives us some kind of, we put it on the table. When I say no, this is not to say that you will never experience the unknown, because you're changing things. You don't know what your actions are going to produce. You just know that you're born to change things, and you know on some level what you're born to change, and you know that there's action required on your part, and right, there's things that you do know, and that you operate from your knowing while knowing that there's so much that is unknown. So there's no, I know all the answers. I have all the answers. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, we are tapping into spirit at all times. We're tapping in. Because that is the elixir. That is the that is the blueprint. That is the, content. There is no us without that connection to the higher blueprint of it all, the higher creation of it all. When I say blueprint, I mean creation, God. Huh? And so the spirit of highness. So that's happening in San Francisco. The link, I've been talking to, like, literally before I got here, I was connecting with the coder, and we were just putting some security stuff on the site. And so we should finally be done. I'm like telling her, finally, let's be done. And so my thought is it will be done in the next day. And so you will receive the email for that. If you are not already on the email list, there is the link with this video. Just look down below this video, and there is a link to get on the email list. So that you get the information about the Spirit of Highness happening in San Francisco, okay? So it has been, oh, I don't think I needed it on there. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm still going over here. So that concludes today's The Power to Lead an Unseen Vision. I am here every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Paris time. And I will be back here next week. Share this out if you have found value. It delights me to be here and to know that the right people are finding their way here. So lots of love. Have a great week. And for those of you who this is for, I look forward to seeing you, my God, in San Francisco. We have work to do, darling.